All right, welcome back to another pick video. This is from March 7th, 2022. As always, if you guys find this video helpful, you like it, go ahead and drop it down a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, helps me out and helps me keep pumping these videos out for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First guy we have here tonight, DeJounte Murray. He's in a great game environment, currently the highest over-under slate at 239, and also the highest pace matchup on the slate, which is two big boosts for our point guards for them to do very well. We saw Murray dominate in the last two matchups versus teams who play at fast paces and who score a lot of points. Those teams being Sacramento Kings and the Charlotte Hornets. Against the Kings, he put up 55 fantasy points, and against Charlotte, he put up 58 fantasy points. So it's pretty good chance he's going to repeat performance around that range going up against a team like the Lakers. Since the departure of Derek White, DeJounte Murray has basically been the heart of the team. He pretty much does everything for him. Since then, he's been averaging 56 fantasy points, 29% usage rate, and about 20 shot attempts per game. So definitely a solid floor production coming out from DeJounte Murray. He also has the ability to rack up some steals, as we saw last game out against Charlotte. He was able to tack on 3 steals, so definitely some defensive upside as well. On top of the great game environment he's already in, he also has a great matchup versus the Lakers, as they're the 5th best matchup for point guards over the last 15. And on top of all this great history and goodness he comes in this game with great history versus the Lakers, as he's been averaging 58 fantasy points versus the Lakers over the past 3 games this season. So certainly a guy who's in a smash spot in my eyes. Next guy I have on the list, almost an automatic play for me, Jordan Poole. Golden State currently missing 4 of their 5 starters. Only starter still playing is Kevon Looney, and he doesn't do much to any usage rate from guys. So this leaves Jordan Poole all by himself. Allow him to start tonight at the point guard position. We know we get out of Poole. He's a young guy, but he's certainly a guy who can score in bunches when he's on. And with him being the only guy there tonight, he should take as many shots as he can, because everybody else left is old veterans or bench guys or role players. He's kind of the only guy that can go out there and take over and help these guys win the game. Earlier this month, we saw Golden State rest all their starters as well. That left Jordan Poole starting. In that game, he put up 34 minutes, 35% usage rate, took 24 shots, and scored 51 fantasy points versus the Spurs. Even if he doesn't repeat that performance, he's simply too cheap for a starting point guard that has plenty of upside as he does. Next guy on the list, we have Josh Hart. Similar to the Anthony Simons situation on Saturday, most of the Portland team is ruled out, including Anthony Simons himself. So that leaves Hart in a similar situation. As the only true starter left on the team, surrounded by a bunch of backups. So this should result in Josh Hart being able to take as many shots as he can. Although he's not as prolific as a scorer as Anthony Simons, he's able to produce in other categories such as rebounding, being such a great rebounding guard, assist, and defensive side of the ball as well. He's also coming in a little bit cheaper, so he doesn't score the ball just as much. He should still be able to hit value here by attacking any other peripheral stats. On top of that, he also has a great history versus Minnesota, similar to the other guys on this list. In 2 games versus Minnesota this season, he's currently averaging 41 points. And if he's able to produce anything similar to that, he will certainly pay off his $6,000 price tag. Next guy we have on the list, we have LeBron James with the Lakers. Similar to DeJounte Murray, with them being in the same game. Great game environment for guys who are going to handle the ball a lot. As this game's a high-scoring and fast-paced game, it should be back and forth all night long. The Lakers have been struggling recently, as we all know, having been embarrassed publicly. So with all that, commotion going on, LeBron's come out publicly and stated, hey, don't count us out yet. We still have a chance to, make the playoffs and right the ship. And he certainly backed up that statement coming out against Golden State and dropping a monster game on them. In my eyes, I think LeBron's starting to realize that he has to carry this team if he wants them to even have a chance of making the playoffs. So I think down the stretch here, heading to the playoffs, he's going to start doing as much as he can to, help these guys stay in the conversation. And we have to motivate LeBron James, who's arguably one of the greatest players of all time, at a near 10,000 price tag. I'm going to take him every time. Last guy on the list, a bit of a flyer here. We have Spencer Dinwiddie. Jalen Brunson was just ruled out, so Dinwiddie should be able to take his spot in the starting lineup. With Dinwiddie out, or with Brunson out, this opens up Dinwiddie to play at least 30 plus minutes, hopefully in the 35 range, and it was about 10 to 15 more shot attempts for them to go around, which should funnel to Dinwiddie the most. And ever since he's been on the Mavericks, Dinwiddie's been performing very well when given 30 plus minutes with Dallas. He's been playing 30 plus minutes in 2 games so far. The first game, he put up 37 points versus Golden State in only 31 minutes. In his most recent game for Sacramento, when he got 35 minutes, he put up 44 fantasy points. So definitely a guy, whenever he's given the opportunity with these Mavericks, he's been shooting the ball well and contributing in his other categories as well. So if he's given the minutes tonight, he's definitely an overlooked guy who can definitely provide a little value and possibly hit a nice ceiling game here. So that's going to wrap it up. Again, if you guys like this video, go ahead and drop me a like down below. If you find it helpful in any way, go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. And I'll see you guys again.